Can you tell me a story?
Sure. Once upon a time, a mom needed a new car.
Was she brave?
She was tired, mostly. But she went to Carvana.com and found a great car at a great price. No secret treasure map required.
Did she have to fight a dragon?
Nope, she bought it 100% online. From her bed, actually.
Was it scary?
Honey, it was as unscary as car buying could be.
Did the car have a sunroof?
It did, actually.
Okay, good story.
Car buying you'll want to tell stories about. Buy your car today on
Carvana.
Delivery fees may apply.
Insurance isn't one size fits all. That's why drivers have enjoyed Progressive's Name Your Price tool for years now. With the Name Your Price tool, you tell them what you want to pay, and they'll show you options that fit your budget. So whether you're picking out your first policy or just looking for something that works better for you and your family, they make it easy to see your options. Visit Progressive.com. Find a rate that works for you with the Name Your Price tool. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. Price and coverage match limited by state law. You're listening to this podcast, so I know you've got a curious mind. Here's a helpful fact you may not know yet. Drivers who switch and save with Progressive save over $900 on average. Pop over to Progressive.com, answer some questions, and you'll get a quick quote with discounts that are easy to come by. In fact, 99% of their auto customers earn at least one discount. Visit Progressive.com and see if you can enjoy a little cash back. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company and Affiliates. National average 12-month savings of $946 by new customers surveyed who saved with Progressive between June 2024 and May 2025. Potential savings will vary.
Twinkle, twinkle, little star, how I wonder what you are.
Welcome to the Chatty Daddies. Today, we are talking to a wife who needs some advice on a difficult subject.
Ooh, I wonder what that is right there.
I know.
Are we going to do a fiddling follow-up here? Because we got a lot of response talking about the fiddling.
We did. We definitely did. It was a pretty good episode, I thought. I loved it.
I mean, it's fine. And to let you guys know this, my son actually was fiddling less. I don't know what we did, but I was actually thinking about taking Trey's advice and putting the jalapeno on the hand. And I don't know if you heard us talking about it, but he has been fiddling less. But we got a DM from Tony, who was listening to our podcast about what to do if your son's always fiddling. And she said it hit close to home because she's a mom with two little boys. And she said, I am also a school counselor for grades K through 5, which means the job of talking to kids about appropriateness of touching/speaking of privates at school often falls on my shoulders.
Boy, you got to imagine what the school counselors have to hear, the conversations they have, what they go through with their kids.
Right.
It's because you know that so many parents aren't talking about things.
Oh.
Right. They just ignore it, dude.
I don't remember ever having this kind of conversation with my father.
Never.
Not that I was in the middle of anything. I wasn't doing that at school, but again, that I can remember.
Yeah.
I mean, I remember my dad trying to have the conversation with me, but it was like when I was a sophomore in high school, so it was like way too late, you know?
Right,
I'd already been experimenting myself. But Tony goes on to say, what I have learned is adults are way more uncomfortable than kids when it comes to these talks. So if you use plain language and get to the point, kids are actually going to be like, okay, cool. And also, Tony says, y'all are right. You don't want them to think their privates are bad or be afraid to come to you if they ever have a question or problem with them. Basically, you have to pretend like you're a mature person. Know that it's developmentally appropriate for them to explore down there, and it's not necessarily a sign of abuse. Fun times, right? You're right, Tony. It is fun times.
Super fun times. I don't know where my son learned it. I guess it's just a guy thing. But since we're on the topic of this, the other day, my son, he likes to go pee out in the yard. And the other day, his pants were down on his ankles. He started peeing and he goes, Daddy, watch this. And he just started like shaking, like moving his pee-pee and his body around and just like letting the pee-pee wave around.
Like a cartoon fire hose.
Yeah, like he was trying to write his name. Like, I don't know what he was doing, but he was having so much fun. And then another time last week, he tried. I didn't give him this idea, but he tried to see how far he could get the pee-pee to go.
Sure, we've all done that, right?
It's just a natural thing that guys try to do, I guess.
Oh, it's the best.
What's your record, though? Like, I feel like, hang on, I have to, like, spatially think about this.
Dude, I think I can go... Man,
you're going to way over brag about yourself.
No, man. I want to think, like, I think I could put some power into it. I want to say I can go 6 feet.
Not
6 feet
a
is far.
chance.
I was
Not a
debating on
chance.
saying if like 4.5 feet was too far.
And I was thinking 3.5 after I sat there and
Bro.
like measured like
I
in my mind.
could do at least 4.5. I think
You guys are under valuing your power. I think we can hit 5 to 6 feet, boys.
I don't know. I'll try and I'll
we're
get
gonna
back
have
to you.
we're gonna have to do this with our wives. Will have to record us from
It's like
behind.
they have,
dude.
you know how like they have in like javelin tossing or the shot put where they have somebody run out and put a flag down where you can get it to.
Oh man,
Dude,
No.
if we had like a man Olympics, that would definitely be one of the events.
Pretty good.
wow, that's a great idea.
I have
Man
been
Olympics.
known to see if I could. This is back a long time ago that I'm just now remembering. But I would like pee, and I try to pee with no hands, you know. And so then I try to like take a step back and continue. I have tried to see how many steps back I can take. I don't think I get more than just like a left foot kind of back a little bit.
Right.
I mean, to get pretty far, I think you would have to. Well, I don't want to give my secrets out,
Sure.
if we are actually doing this, which I
course.
think we should.
I think we definitely should.
But I need proof because I'm gonna be honest with you, Nick. You're a pretty honest guy. JC, you're gonna lie.
I'm not gonna lie. I'm gonna tell the truth. My wife would be out there and tell you.
Okay.
But same with this. If you
So
have
just
another
like
question.
put a piece of tape down, some duct tape on the driveway,
Yep.
or wherever you're standing,
Backyard, yeah.
and then you're just gonna have to pee. I guess on concrete, you need to see it,
Of course,
to see how
yes.
far it gets.
That's a good point.
Sand,
Okay.
something like that.
Easy for you to say. You have a power washer, so you're gonna be able to clean that thing off real quick.
Oh yeah, that's true. Well, just a hose will clean pee
Yeah,
off.
that's fine.
Now, I haven't peed in front of my wife before, so I don't know that I can have her be my spotter.
Oh Trey, I am a closed door kind of guy.
For sure.
Yeah.
Me too. I need to make sure that the door, at least closest to me, is closed. Because I can't have, like, the bathroom door open and then close the bedroom door, because I assume she's just going to walk in and be
in.
like, what's going on?
We're in
yes.
the desert one time, and this might be too much information, but we were at a desert one time, and I went to go pee, and my wife was kind of standing nearby, and she goes, "Oh, I've never seen like what it looks like, when it's happening." And I was like, neither have I. So she's seen me like pee, and it was out in the open, and it was fine, and nothing. We still have a
Gross.
relationship. It didn't gross her out.
So I need to know more about this situation. Did she stand directly next to you so she saw like it shooting forward, or did she stand from a profile view where she gets the full side shot?
She was off to my right, if I remember correctly, slightly back, and then
Okay.
I think she made a move around. Just
Like
because she was curious. I get it. It's a curiosity and understandable.
like a documentary filmmaker, you got to get every
Yeah.
angle.
Like that 360 look, I guess.
Just recently, I was in the shower. In the shower, I do not like the full glass you can see all the way through the shower, because then I can't just pee whenever I want.
Right.
Because like my wife's sink, like my wife, her vanity and stuff, like there's a big mirror that she looks into, but that's looks directly into the shower. And the other day I was like, man, I really gotta pee. But I can't do it if she's like looking at, putting on
Sure.
makeup and she can easily see.
Performance anxiety. I get it. Yeah.
No, I need it. It's not that I couldn't. It's just like I should not
Because
have my
you don't
wife
want to
see
look over.
me
And
pee.
she could just be doing her makeup and not pay attention.
Never
but
see
then,
it.
then also the line of sight could be happening where she's just like getting the eyelashes and rolls her eyes in a way, and she's like, "What is going on over there?"
Yeah.
Yeah. Speaking
I
of the
didn't do
shower, Nick, my kids, you got to tell your kids where it's okay to pee. Like backyard, you good to go, bro. In the ocean, go for it. In the shower, we're a go for it family. It sounds like you are as well, Nick. Trey, I don't know are you a shower kind of guy?
Oh, I pee in the shower. Actually, I
Perfect.
learned that because of you, JC.
yeah. Thank you. See,
Whenever I would have peed in the shower when I was 14, 15, somewhere in there. And I heard on the Kid Craddock morning show, you guys talking about peeing in the shower. And I was like, well, what a brilliant idea. I've
Yeah,
never
just-
even thought of it.
It
Some
just
people
goes
brush
down.
their teeth in the shower, which that's just weird.
I do that as well.
Okay.
I don't
That's
hate
easy
it.
cleanup. You can have the thing spill all over your chest. It's the best doing all that stuff in the shower. But I cannot get my daughter to pee in the shower. She was in there the other day and she starts screaming like, Papa, come in here. And I'm thinking, okay, something happened. She got soap in her eyes or she hurt herself. I run in there and she goes, I got to go pee. And I said, okay, go. And she would not go pee in the shower. She says, no, I only pee in the toilet. And I was like, Chloe, it's like in the sea. You know, when we're in the ocean, you can pee in the ocean. And she goes, I don't pee in the ocean either. So I don't know how to get my kid to let go and release without being a jerk and basically locking her in the shower until she goes.
I mean, it's fine if she doesn't want to go in the shower, right?
Like, that's probably a good thing that she doesn't want to pee all over herself for a second. Even though, it makes sense. You can get it cleaned off pretty quickly.
And
but
you don't have to dry off again, and you know.
Yeah.
But
so we're doing swim lessons with our kids.
Yep.
And the other day I'm in the pool. It's there's maybe 5 other babies in this class with us. And I'm in the pool with my daughter who's about to turn 2 here in a few months. And so we're playing around doing things. And then all of a sudden I'm just feeling so much warm water. It's just a lot.
Obvious.
And my son, years ago, he had a lot of issues going poopy, but the one time a week he would go poop was at swim class. So anyways, my daughter never has that problem, but it's just like, oh my gosh, there's so much pee. And then a few minutes later, we're playing around, moving around the pool. Again, so much pee. I don't say anything. I'm just taking it. I'm not going to make a scene.
Yeah,
sure.
I'm in the pool. It's chlorine. It's going away anyways. And then I move a little bit, and the spot gets hotter. And I realized I was just standing by some jets that was blowing out some warmer water.
Oh.
So I was not getting peed on, which really
made
me feel better because I am. I don't want to say I'm a huge germaphobe, but definitely pee grosses me out.
Really?
So,
Yeah, me too. And especially in the pool. I'm cool with the ocean. I'm cool with the shower, but the pool grosses me out. And Nick, I don't know if you've taken a vacation yet with the kids to like a family-friendly
Not yet.
resort or whatever, or hotel. I did. And the worst thing you can do, guys, because we had a room and you could see the pool. So in the morning, you get out, sun is rising, the pool is just pristine blue, just beautiful. Went out there, had a fun time, and we stayed in the pool all day long. Went back up to the room, looked out there, looked at the pool. Don't ever do this, people. Looked at the pool. It was the murkiest green color pool ever.
Can't even see your feet.
Can't see your feet. I mean, it looked like lake water.
Yeah, for sure. I remember going to a water park in town called Hurricane Harbor, and they have a lazy river. And I remember I'd have a season pass there every summer, and we'd go right when it opened. And man, the lazy river would be so clear. It was cold and everything. And then by the time we were leaving at 4:00 in the afternoon, you couldn't see your feet, you couldn't see your hands. It was murky. It was like white and not blue anymore.
Yeah. Whoa, you know what that reminded me of? You know how you walk out of the lazy river, there's a bunch of hair?
Oh, yes.
Yeah, you always get clumps of hair all over your arm. So this is scary because I didn't know that this could happen to boys. So this could be a little PSA if you have a little boy and you go to a water park, or even if you're a mom and you have really long hair. He somehow at a water park got a hair tangled on his penis. Mm-hmm. And so you can't tell because the hair's so fine, right? You don't know anything's happening. And later on in the day, the kid was complaining about pain down there. Mom looks down there, nothing. I mean, it looks fine. It's fine, cool. Keeps complaining. It starts turning color, like discoloring, or he starts losing color. So she takes him to the doctor that same day. If she would have waited a day, it could have been worse. The doctor said that he looked closer. There was a blonde hair just tangled up on his private. He had to cut it off, and he said, "Mom, if you would have waited a little bit longer, we might have had to have, cut that thing loose because it could have killed the blood flow was killed off and all that."
Wow.
He said if she would have waited an extra day. So be on the lookout for that if you have extremely little kids. Especially boys, because that apparently happens.
Yeah, we had my son Davis had a little hair wrapped around his little pee-pee this weekend, and he wasn't like in pain or like anything, but he was just like, he was trying to pull it off when we were getting in the shower. He was trying to pull the hair off. He knew something was there, but he couldn't. So, had to kind of grab it, unwrap it. It was intense. So that's for sure.
Yeah, you'll do some things, Trey, that you didn't think you were going to do in your lifetime as a father.
Wouldn't have even crossed my mind.
Yeah.
Dude, I would have never known had I not heard that story. So Kason was really young too at the time, so I would constantly make sure, I was like, yo, pee-pee feel good? He always looked, pee-pee feel good. Good.
Since we're talking about stories about private parts, there was a guy that I knew in college.
Oh, no. We're going to college
We're going to college. A guy that I knew in college, he was riding his bike around campus, right? Riding to class. And he worked at our football stadium. He like worked for the media department or something. And his gonads were just hurting. Just starting to be in pain while he's working his shift. Oh my gosh, they're starting to swell up. What is happening? What's going on? And so he just went down to the athletic office and was like, can a trainer check this out before I like go to the hospital or something? And so they check out his swollen nuts and they're like, yeah, you need to go to the hospital. He goes to the hospital. What had happened while he was riding his bike, apparently, is what they think. One of the boys had like twisted around inside.
It knotted up?
Yeah, it just like kind of twisted. What? And so they had to like untwist it, and they put something in to where like they cannot twist. Yeah, like in a circle,
like a divider,
again.
Like the divider you made for the kids on the stroller.
I don't know if it was a full-on divider, something how they can't twist, and they said yes, if you had waited, like just put up with the pain or put ice on it for a little bit, he may have had to amputate. You know,
whoa!
And luckily, he caught it, and they untwisted that bad boy.
The fact that he went to one of his, the trainers. And like, yo, man, you're going to have to take a look at the nuts.
I'll tell a college story as well.
Yes.
There was a guy that used to work at a medical, it was a hospital, ER, and he was like the input guy. So the first person you see, they're like, all right, cool, what's wrong with you? And this guy comes in, and he's got a backpack and one arm like around his crotch. And like, my friend was like super sketched out as soon as the guy walked in. She's like, what's this guy going on? And the guy walks up, he's like, hey, can I talk to you? Like, back behind the door. He's like, no, man, let's just tell me what's going on right in here. He's like, no, I really got to talk to you behind the door. So they went behind one of the little double swinging doors, and he was like, listen, man, I like to masturbate with Icy Hot. And I have masturbated so much with Icy Hot that he had pulled off the skin, like the top couple of layers of skin. He was like, I got to keep this on top of my penis, keep it around. And so I covered it with a backpack and came in.
Wow.
What?
And I don't know what the treatment was after that. My friend didn't have any kind of medical access. So
wow, yo, man. So a PSA right there. Don't use Icy Hot.
I mean, I tried it afterwards.
Dude, there is no way I could ever even.
Not a chance.
No.
So boys, I will probably get in trouble for this. We'll see if my wife listens to the podcast.
Okay, go ahead.
We got into one of we don't fight that often at our house.
Okay.
But the most common argument, I feel like it's probably one of the most common arguments for couples, and that's the issue of chores around the house.
Yes.
Duties around the house.
Okay.
It's once a month, maybe. Once every 2 months, we'll have a little back and forth. And it usually ends up with the same resolution. We're good for a little bit, and then it starts deteriorating.
You fall back
again.
And
yeah, fall back.
So what is Blair not doing? Because I know it's Blair that's dropping the ball.
So should I present this in a way where you do not know which party is who is who?
I prefer that. Yeah, I want to see, because in that way we're not going to side with you as bros, because we have bro code.
Try not to make any conclusions on who you think person A and B are. So person A goes to work early in the morning.
Okay.
And likes to take naps in the afternoon.
All right.
After work, he gets off maybe noonish.
Oh, he gets off at noon? Okay.
Yeah. So person B is there with the kids in the morning, takes them to school, does her 9-to-5 job. Then we get the kids back home. It's dinner time, and then it's bedtime, right? Okay. So on the weekends especially is when this comes up, because person A is still kind of on the schedule of wanting that nap in the afternoon.
Right, yeah.
But, when your kids are sleeping, sometimes when they nap is when some of the chores can get done that can't be done while they're awake.
Right.
And person A still likes to take those naps, whether the chores need to be done or not. So if you had to guess, who do you think is who?
I'm thinking you're B.
You're right. Yep. I am B. And so I am, of course, A. And, I'm not going to say that I don't do nothing. I'm not going to say I'm not going to say I do nothing. I'm not going to say that I do half, because I don't.
Yeah.
My wife does so much.
Yeah.
And she works her butt off. And so it's just one of those things where it's like she wants me to she doesn't want to tell me what to do.
Yeah.
She wants me to just do it.
Sure.
Amen, brother.
I work good with lists. Like, I keep a list at work. If you need me to go to the post office, take out the trash, do the
Just
whatever
tell
it
me.
is, I'm good at that. Like, I can knock out a list quick. But if it's just open-ended, just whatever,
Yeah.
my brain doesn't compute well with that. And so I say, make me a list. She says, okay, I'll work on it. But then she doesn't want to nag me, which I
course.
get. I understand that. So we'll see how it goes. We'll
Yeah.
see how attentive I am the next few weeks, and then see how long it takes me to fall back.
My wife and I have the same argument. Same exact
Do you
one.
like to get your naps in?
It's not the nap thing. It's the helping thing. For some reason, I can't take naps anymore. It's like
Yeah.
my body doesn't let me, and it sucks. And I want to. I'll go lay down. I can't do it. But it's the constant. You know, she's my wife is a clean freak.
Yes.
We've talked about this. She's constantly cleaning up. I can walk into a room, look at it, and go, "It's clean." She'll walk in and go, "Oh my God, I feel so much anxiety. It needs to be cleaned up." That's how different we are.
Yeah.
And so she gets to the point where she's like, "I need you to help me." You know, I could tell like she's about to explode. She's been holding this in. I need you to help me. There's stuff laying around and you haven't done it yet. Why can't you just do it? And I was like, "Oh, just ask me." You know,
Yeah.
if you ask me, wash the dishes, I'll wash the dishes. You need me to chop up some onions or whatever for dinner, I'll chop them. You just have to ask me, and I'm there. I'm not very good at looking around the house and
Yeah.
thinking, okay, that needs to be done.
I think we're on the same page here, because my wife is probably not as big of a neat freak as Kinsey might be, but I think we all have different expectations of what clean is and what it isn't, and like what livable is. And I'm always like, hey, look, HGTV is not coming here tomorrow to film a segment on our house. So if there's a fork in the sink, I can put it up later.
Sure.
Like, it doesn't have to be done now.
She's like, "Why didn't you put your bowl in the sink?" I'm like, "I don't know. I'll do it later." I didn't need to do it right now.
But so we got into one of those. It's called a row if you live in the UK. Got in a row with someone.
I am going to take the wife's side.
Sure,
in
and I'm
this
not saying I am on the right side of this argument.
Right. I myself have changed a lot over the last couple of years. I used to be the guy that only used paper plates because I know I'll never wash a dish. I'm living alone. Don't care. Wouldn't do laundry for a month. Mm-hmm. Do I have enough underwear to last a month? No. So I just reuse old underwear. That was who I was, and I am not ashamed of it. Now I realize that I need to make sure that my wife's living standards or living conditions are better than what I was living in.
They're not being brought down by you.
And if I don't do it immediately, it'll never get done. So when the dishes are dirty, I clean the dishes immediately.
Right.
When the clothes need to be washed, I wash them immediately. And I don't try to put stuff off because I know that Carol will come behind me and do whatever I haven't done. And I don't feel like she needs to do anything for me.
Because she's pregnant. But once she's not pregnant, just regular life.
Yeah, because she's not my... No,
She's not your mom.
She's not my mom. She's not somebody that I have hired to do this stuff. I made the decision. I'm able to make the bowl of cereal. I'm able to make the sandwich, the eggs, the whatever. I should be able to clean up after myself. I didn't have a problem getting all the stuff out to make it. Why would I have a problem putting stuff up? And then, if she cooks dinner... Whoever cooks doesn't do the dishes.
Makes
she
sense.
made dinner for both of us. I'll do the dishes for both of us. And that's been what works out nicely because she's good at cooking food and I'm good at doing the mindless work.
That is the smart thing to do.
But yeah, and you know, in for me in that scenario, like I'll put up whatever I get out, but it's stuff like the kids' toys and the
This I haven't got to yet.
yeah, and you
all
know,
that.
for me, a lot of times I'm like, okay, well, do I have to fold all the clothes now, or can I take a nap and then just fold the clothes when the kids are watching TV?
Sure.
That makes sense to me.
I don't disagree with that either.
But you know, for her, you know, there's stuff to be done. Let's do it. And you know, our daughter, like, she will not leave my wife's side. So like, it's hard for my wife to do some things because she just can't with a toddler on her hip all day.
Yeah.
You know, so that's time for her to do chores. So that was our back and forth. We'll see what the outcome is. So I'm gonna work on it, guys. I'm gonna work on it.
And then you'll go back to what you were.
And I'll probably slide back, and then in a few months we'll have this all back and forth again.
Exactly.
Yeah.
That's how it always works. I'll work on it too, Nick, with you.
So, guys, I think we need to transition a little bit here. We got a really interesting letter from someone. You can email us all the time at chattydaddies.com, and you can ask for advice. You can give us tips or anything like that. And we got a letter from Aaron, who is going through a pretty difficult situation. So, Trey, why don't we kind of read this?
All right, here we go. Hi, I am a wife looking for advice. My husband and I are on a long road to becoming parents. I'm 31 and he's 28, and we've been together for 5.5 years, married for almost 4. The short version is that last year we had 2 adoptions fall through.
Oh, man.
We would still love to foster/adopt some at some point, but after the trauma of them falling through, we need something permanent. At the same time, we found out that we can't conceive naturally without a lot of help. I've been undergoing infertility treatment for the past year, and if our current cycle doesn't work, this is round 4, we will have to make the decision to move to IVF. This has been really hard on both of us, and I need advice on how to help support my husband through it. Your podcast makes me so excited for when that time finally comes, and I can't wait to see my husband as a dad.
I mean, part of this letter is really heartbreaking. Part of this letter is very touching, that Aaron wants to find out how to support her husband. A lot of people don't think about the husband, his side of things, when people are going through infertility and stuff.
Yeah.
And so it just made me really want to reach out and talk to Aaron. So Aaron is joining us on the phone. Hello, Aaron.
Hi, Aaron.
Hi, everybody.
Thanks for writing us. That's not an easy thing to open up to 3 strangers about, but you kind of put it all out there, and we thank you for that. And we're sorry for everything you're going through, but it sounds like you kind of have somewhat of a level head about everything.
Yeah, absolutely. And we actually, since I wrote the letter, that IUI cycle did fail, so we are starting IVF in the next couple of weeks.
And
You are going to start IVF.
And so what's the process, like what's that timeline for you guys?
We have to wait about 2 or 3 weeks to start the medication, and then once you start one round of medication, you're on that one for about 2 or 3 weeks, and then you're on the shots. So that's what most people think of when they think of IVF, is the injections. So we'll do several weeks of shots, and then they go through and do the egg retrieval and then harvest the embryos, and then hopefully we have some viable embryos and those get transferred back, and then a couple weeks later we find out if it worked or not. So probably about 2 to 3 months from now is when we would know if we were able to get pregnant or not.
And here's the thing. A lot of people think that, you put all this money into IVF and you do all the treatments and the shots and you go weeks on, doing the right thing. But what did the doctors give you a percentage of how many times it does take?
Yeah, they did. They said for us, because I am kind of on the younger end to be starting it, that we have a really high shot. For people in my age bracket, there's about a 61% chance that it would take on the first try.
Okay.
So we are very hopeful that first round works, but we just kind of have to wait and see.
So you did get good news, but how's your husband dealing with this mentally?
I'm not sure. Whenever I heard 61%, I was like, yeah, that sounds awesome. And then when I told him, he was like, that's it.
Yeah. You're hoping science can do a little more for you.
Yeah, and I'm a talker, and I process things by talking to people and writing about it. And he's much more internal, and so he hasn't said a whole lot about like how he's processing all of this.
Yeah.
He's just been incredibly supportive through it.
So how long have you guys been trying to, either through adoption or naturally, how long have you guys been trying to become parents?
It's been exactly 2 years. We found out about the first child that needed a placement exactly 2 years ago. It was August of 2018. And we went through that whole process to become licensed to foster and adopt. And then we found out about another child. I was a CASA advocate, and it was the child that I was working with through that also needed a placement. And then both of them kind of fell through back to back after we had to get everything ready. Like we had like their bedroom set up with like their artwork on the walls and stuff. Yeah. And then we found out that it wasn't going to happen in May. And so that's when I went to my doctor, and we were like, well, if we can't do it, you can't get something done right, you got to do it yourself. And then the DIY version of having children hasn't been working out either.
Mm-hmm.
So
Yeah.
Now, it's got to be frustrating as foster parents, because you see how many kids need to be adopted, and here you guys are trying to take 2 in and adopt them, and then it falls through. Does that happen a lot? Because that's heartbreaking.
Not super often. One of them we hadn't actually met was she was related to him back. We're from Texas, and we moved out of state a couple years ago. And we found out about her and started working for her. But her foster parents ended up adopting her, which was great because they know her, and she loved them, and vice versa. So that was a really beautiful, happy ending.
Right. It wasn't like they were going back into an
yeah.
abusive home or something like that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Whereas
so
that was the case with the other one.
Oh wow.
No.
Oh no. Okay. So you
That's
had one happy
heartbreaking.
ending and then one ending where you're not very thrilled with.
Yeah.
And so, this whole time you say your husband's a little bit more reserved. So how does he react when you get, y'all have gotten some bad news. How does he react to that news?
He's positive, and he says, okay, well, we'll just keep trying, and we'll do another one, and we'll figure out another plan. So he just continues to try to be supportive and try to be as optimistic as he can about it.
Now, as a reserved person myself, with being emotional or sad, I would say, how are you showing him? Are you really emotional about it? Are you letting him know that this is really hard on you?
Oh yeah, I'm like an emotional basket case.
Yeah,
Understandably so too.
if I think I would. Keep your own, your lines of communication open, but show him that if he is trying, that maybe that made a little bit of a difference, and say, thank you and appreciate if he is, like, I know you're feeling bad, so I brought you a candy bar, or whatever tiny little thing he does. Make that like, thank you so much for helping me, because I think that's probably on his mind is, I want the best thing for my wife, and I just want it to be some kind of relief for her, and I don't know how to give it to her. Hopefully I can give her some tiny little gesture that would make her day just a little bit better. So just let him know if you see him doing one of those things.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a great idea.
And I'm sure that he is brokenhearted as much as you are, so don't ever get on to him. I'm sure you're not. But if you're ever like, why doesn't he care as much as I care? I guarantee you that he probably is driving to work going, I don't know what more I can do. I just am praying that some miracle happens this time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Aaron, a lot of times I think what the advice I'm about to give you, people have given to me, and I've heard my friends give it too. A lot of times I think it's baloney, but in a situation like this, I think it could really work. Have you guys ever heard of the 5 love languages?
Yeah, we do. So I'm words of affirmation,
Okay, good.
and he's acts of service.
Okay, good. So that means that he prefers... So acts of service, that means like he would want you to do something for him? Is that how it works?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yeah, or that, like, whenever he wants to show me he loves me, he'll do the dishes or take the dogs out.
Right.
Okay,
that.
yeah.
So that's a great thing to stick by, and it's kind of one of those things where it's like, as a person who doesn't maybe... A lot of guys like Trey, like a lot of us, we don't want to talk about our emotions. So if you do kind of stick to those love languages, you're kind of, in a way, you're showing him that you love him. You're showing him that you care, that you know this is tough by doing something in whatever his love language is. That makes him feel comfortable. That makes him feel safe.
Yeah.
And, because a lot of tough situations like this can really drive a wedge between partners. When a lot of times you would think it would make you come closer. A lot of times I think it does the opposite. So going through your love languages and just kind of keeping your intention set on that. And it's not easy. You have to think about it like, okay, how can I do this without maybe being obvious or something like that. I don't know. For me, this seems like a good way to implement those love languages to really kind of show him that you care without like smothering him with words or talking about it. You can just say like, hey, I did this for you or whatever. And
let them know.
Okay.
Another thing that my wife and I do, Aaron, once a week, and I don't know if this is something you guys do already, but we do have a sit down, or she does, and she asks me, what's going on in your head? And that, sometimes I'll stay reserved and I'll say, you know what, I'm good right now, everything's fine. But there have been some times where we are willing to open up as men, because I don't know what it is in us that doesn't allow us to do that all the time. It's weird. But sometimes it does. It has led to some really in-depth conversations of what I'm feeling, whether it be with the kids or with our relationship. So maybe like once a week, you guys could have that little sit down where you guys just cuddle up and just, hey, what's going on in your head? And maybe that might get them to, open up a little bit more. And it might not, like you said, his his love language is more of the acts, but maybe that can get him to open up a little bit. It did with me, at least.
Aaron, you seem like you really are worried about your husband's mental state, but I'm guarantee you he understands that you're bearing the brunt of this, and he knows that you're the one that's getting the shots. He knows that you're the one that's dealing with having to talk to the doctor and make doctor's appointments and all that. So I'm sure your husband's just worried about you more than anything. I know it's nice for you to care about how his mental status is, but his mental status probably is based around making sure that you are in a good place.
Yeah, I think it is too.
Yeah,
it's been nice to go through this with COVID because, I'm working from home all the time, so people don't know when I'm going to doctor's appointments and when you're sick and stuff like that. So it's been nice to kind of have that privacy, but at the same time, it's also so isolating.
Yeah, I bet. I can't imagine. Is he working at home also?
No, he's a behavioral therapist for kids with autism, and so he's still in the clinic doing therapies. I'm the only one working from home.
Did I hear, I don't know if this is just volunteerism, or do you have a position with an adoption agency or a foster care agency? Is that what I heard?
No, I was a volunteer for CASA, so I'm actually a minister.
Okay, so y'all are two of the best people on the planet.
I think that's what it is.
And are getting just the raw end of the deal. Well, what is going on?
And, Aaron, through your church, I would assume that there's a lot of different ministry programs and therapy programs and people you can talk to with confidence. And hopefully you guys take advantage of that if you are plugged in. Hopefully there is someone that you can reach out to, that you guys can talk about things. And I know for a lot of us guys, when we put on that brave face, it's because we're trying to be tough and not freak you out more.
Yep.
We're, because we see maybe our wife being emotional or being sad, and we put on the brave face of saying, hey, I'm going to take this head on and we'll take the punches as they come. So that could be a lot of what he's doing too, is just putting on a brave face for you and then kind of having an emotional moment in his car on his way to work,
Yeah.
Yeah. And that's what I totally suspect.
Yeah. And he may be one of those guys that puts on a sad song and cries it out on the way to and from work, and then when he gets home, everything's fine, and he's going to watch the fight tonight, and that's it.
I really think his focus is on you and not so much about worrying about how he's feeling. He just wants to make sure you're okay.
100%.
Yeah, and don't make it super obvious. Don't go on and on about how great it was that he folded the laundry. Just be like,
best fold ever,
no, because
honey.
then he knows something's
Of course, yeah.
Just say like, oh, wow, that's cool. Thanks for doing that. And then just give him a little slap on the butt, and he'll think it's fun and playful.
Yeah.
And it'll be great.
Yeah, you guys will be fine. And we definitely want to be updated on what's going on with the baby.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And now, Aaron, we've talked a lot about your husband, but how are you doing? I know this is really tough on you also. So what's going on in your head?
Well, I was starting to feel pretty hopeless when the third IUI failed, and my doctor reminded me that I work in the faith industry. And so not to give up on that. And so that's what we're trying to do. It was hard when the adoption fell through because at that point we were totally content not having children biologically because we just wanted 2 kids. And so we kind of made peace with, well, we may never have kids. And then when you find out you can't actually do it, it's been pretty painful, but I have really good friends here, and my parents are incredibly supportive. And they're the reason we can afford to do a round of IVF in the first place. I'm their only hope at getting a grandchild. So,
so they're
willing to do whatever they can. So I feel like I have a great support system, so I've been doing okay with it. And listening to y'all's podcast makes me so excited for the time when we do get to be parents. And I know that y'all joked about you're worried that it might scare people away from being parents when they hear about some of the nitty gritty. And I'm like, yes, I want the nitty gritty. That sounds great. Throw me in that delivery room.
Hey, Aaron, totally unrelated. What's some of the most common arguments you guys have? Do y'all fight over chores around the house at all?
Sometimes. So he's a lot neater than I am. Our biggest one probably is that right now we have a 3-month-old puppy. And it's who takes her out when she's standing at the door and looking at us.
Yeah.
Yes.
You got to take that doggy out every hour. Take it out.
Yeah. It's every 30 minutes.
Yeah.
The rule in our house is whose idea was it to get the puppy? That's who has to take it out.
Well, so you say acts of service. I think he kind of caved to let me get the puppy so I would have something to nurture. And so that was his kind of act of service was letting me get the puppy. So
I could tell you guys are going to be wonderful parents. I could just hear it in your voice. You want it so bad. And also, real quick, to circle back, some of our podcast listeners might be wondering, what's CASA? Because that sounds enticing, right? If you want to be involved in kids' lives and maybe you can't foster right now or adopt. CASA is a court-appointed special advocate, right? And you can you can still be involved in these foster kids' lives and help them out and go to court and make sure that their homes are perfect for them, make sure that they're doing well in school. So that's what Aaron does. So if you were wondering what CASA is, I don't know if I explained it as well as Aaron probably could have, but what you do is wonderful, Aaron.
Thank you. And yeah, it's a low time commitment with a really high impact. It takes maybe 5 or 6 hours a month to do. And it just has such a huge impact because these kids, like, their caseworkers may change or their lawyers may change, but their CASA advocate stays the same. Yeah. And so that person walks with them through all of this. And it's just a really awesome thing to do. We're training the dog to be a therapy dog to work with CASA kids.
So good.
And they're going to have a therapy dog.
You guys are the best family ever, Aaron.
Aaron, thank you so much for writing us and for just putting all your info out there. That's very nice of you. And, it's really great that you did that. And hopefully you helped some other people that might be going through something similar. Because there's a lot of people out there who are in your shoes. I know it feels isolating, but you're not alone.
Yeah, we have a good support system, and I'm just thankful that y'all took the time to contact us. Moving out of Texas, hearing y'all every morning just makes home not feel so far away. So I just appreciate everything y'all are doing.
Well, thank you, Aaron. We'll let you get back to your day. Thanks for chatting with us.
Bye, Aaron.
All right, thank y'all. Have a good day.
You too.
You too.
I didn't want to say this, but it's stories like that make me feel a little guilty.
Sure.
That I put very little effort into, almost no effort, natural
almost a
selection.
Solid 3 minutes.
Yeah.
Well, yeah.
And maybe I'll be the best father ever. I won't be the worst father ever. I know that much. But I know that people are trying very, very hard, and I end up getting to have something that is now one of the best things. Yeah, it's one of the best things I can possibly imagine going to be happening in my life. And
Aaron, these are the kind of people that make you realize when you see those April Fool's jokes and you see people, April Fool's, I'm pregnant. And then you see a post later on, some people just have no sense of humor. They're mad at me for that joke. No, this is why those jokes are in bad taste, because there are people out there that are in tears right now.
And she's still smiling and trying, and she just wants to be a parent so bad. Yeah. And I just feel guilty that
don't feel guilty.
It's so easy for me.
How lucky we are,
I am
we're so blessed,
lucky.
Dude. We are so blessed that we were able to have babies and didn't have to go through the heartbreak that some people have to go through. You just have to realize
we got to not take it for granted and be there for the kid. And
what episode number is this? 12?
Think so.
There.
12 episodes, first tears. Trey was crying just then. You didn't see it, JC. I could see it because I'm in the same room with him.
Trey, that's because
Trey was tearing up, guys.
Coming, bro.
Yeah.
I think he hit I don't think the voice quiver came through.
No, I teared up watching this new show called The World's Toughest Race on. I did. Did you watch Godzilla this weekend? It was on. I tried to turn it on, and Kara said no. But so there's a show called The World's Toughest Race on Amazon Prime, and this one guy. I'm gonna spoil this if you're trying to watch it, which I think you should.
Okay.
Just fast forward a couple of times. Hit 30 seconds. 30 seconds. But the guy, his name is Mark Macy. They call him Mace. He was like the original adventure racer guy, and now he's racing with his son. Mace now has Alzheimer's and can barely get through the race, and the guy is talking about how he used to go out with his dad into the woods in the middle of the night and hold his hand and be like, "Dad, how are you not scared?" But he was never scared, and then now he's having to hold his dad's hand through the woods in the middle of the night, and it was heartbreaking.
All right, next week we got to talk about the silly things that made us cry.
All right.
The ridiculous things that made us cry, TV show, book, commercial. Remember that, write that down.
That right there is it for this episode of the Chatty Daddies.
If you need some advice, hit us up at Chatty Daddies on social media or at chattydaddies.com.